Hello, I'm Karina.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to As Told by ADHD. This podcast is the brainchild of two best friends with ADHD who share a passion for learning and a knack for finding the most fascinating tidbits of knowledge.
Each week, we embark on a wild and hilarious journey of discovery as we dive headfirst into topics that pique our curiosity. From dark folklore to bizarre statistics, cultural ceremonies to famous dead people. We're here to entertain, educate, and tickle your funny bone.
This week on As Told by ADHD, we have another part two of hoaxes.
How'd you guys enjoy last week's? Let me know.
Oh yeah,
I would love feedback. I love good constructive criticism, but I also love compliments. So it's totally up
and
to
we
you.
like to know about your mental well-being because that threw me for a loop.
Honestly, listen. Okay. With last week's hoax, I thought it was hilarious the whole time. And I don't know what that says about me.
Chaos. Your zodiac sign.
Yeah.
You are
My zodiac
fire.
sign is chaos.
It is. I mean, that's pretty much the definition.
Fair.
On top of being really sweet and caring and genuine and all those things.
Loyal.
So, loyal as...
Can you guys guess what my zodiac sign is? We didn't say it. Do you want to guess?
And do you want to know what mine is? Because I don't know if I want to say it. I kind of want to see if you guys can find out. Okay. Or figure it out.
We're not gonna say our birthdays or our zodiac signs. And if you guys can guess it in the comments, if you know us, don't guess it. Because you already know. But if you don't know us, guess.
Guess, and maybe we'll say it next episode to see if you guys were correctamundo.
Maybe. Okay.
But we are a duo. We're quite the duo. Just saying.
Yes. I don't know if you've looked, but like it doesn't say that our signs are compatible, but it also doesn't say that they're incompatible. But anyway.
But we work.
There's a hint.
But anyway, so I have a question for you.
I love questions.
What lengths would you go to in order for you to prove that you're not like other people? Like in order to prove that you stand out?
I don't think I would. Like, if somebody really, really wanted, like, if somebody was like, hey, you're just like everybody else, I'd be like, okay, your opinion, and then I'd go about my day. And if they're really like, you have to prove it, I'd be like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, if someone asked me that question, I would just be like, why would I answer such a stupid question?
Right.
But there are people in the world. People will go through great, extensive, dramatic lengths just to stand out and be different.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Like, if you think about all of the people who are like on social media who are trying to stand out, people who want to be famous, people who like the pick-me girls or I don't really know. I'm sure there's a
lot of different personalities. Yeah. There are a lot of personalities out there that would go through extensive lengths to show their uniqueness or prove to people that they're unique or but anyways,
and I'm just over here vibing.
Yeah.
I'm like
honestly, if it wasn't for like, promotional reasons of our channel, of our podcast, which is mandatory. If you want to succeed, you have to get people to watch it. I would probably not have any social media, let's be honest.
Fair. So. I feel like I use Instagram as like a scrapbook of sorts. So like that's more for me than anybody else. It's like, oh, look at this cool thing I did. Beep. But like it's more of like, oh, I can like scroll back and be like, oh, 2 years ago I went to Europe.
Right. Right, and you get to look back on those memories.
Mm-hmm.
Reflect, because we change with
Right.
age. Whether you don't think that's correct or not, you change with age. You at least get a new favorite food or new favorite drink or new favorite shirt or new favorite shoes, you know. Well, there is a Filipino man that went as far as to make up a discovery that would leave the world shooketh.
Hell
Shooketh.
yeah. We love discoveries.
Shook to their bones. Okay?
I'm ready to be shook.
You're gonna get shooketh. You're gonna get shooketh real good.
Mm-hmm.
So, Manuel, or Manda, Elizalde was a Harvard-educated man from Manila, Philippines, who worked as
Okay.
the head of the Presidential Assistance on the National Minorities. It's pretty much a department within Filipino government. So he worked under the Filipino president of that time, dictator Ferdinand Marcos. I didn't say anything. I just had
What?
something.
What was that? That's crazy.
Got to clear my throat. But this department, this department was put in place to protect cultural minorities because the Philippines, like still to this day to an extent, but this is in the 70s. So we're in this 1970s, late 60s, early 70s era, okay? So back then, even though it was like slightly modernized, it was a very tribal area. So there were territories, a bunch of tribes in those different types of territories, and they would speak a language, but there would be like each tribe in that area would have like a different twang to it. So you pretty much would
Okay.
know like which tribe XYZ was from. That's going to be important later.
Got it.
So
it's kind of like regions of the U.S. in a
yeah.
way.
Yeah. Except for
Like,
just
'cause-
very much combined.
Right.
Just very close.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, even in like the UK, which is like also pretty small, they have different accents of depending on what region you're from. Like
Yeah.
there's definitely like a London accent, a
Mhm.
Yorkshire accent, like a Wales accent.
Mm-hmm.
That
Do your
really
Geordie
famous
accent.
one.
I love
Right,
your Geordie
absolutely
accent.
not. I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at
It's
that
so
one.
good. It's
There's
so
a
good.
Liverpool accent, which I think of the Beatles every time I think of Liverpool.
Anyways, tangents. Accents. Get back.
Tangent. Accents. Huh.
Gotta shake it off. Well, there is a local hunter in the Philippines named
Mhm.
Dafal. He was in the Mindanao area, and he made reports of sporadic encounters with like a primitive tribe. So like very they would at least wear like clothes, like t-shirts and shorts. They weren't in the best condition, but they like they weren't where we are now, but they were like functioning. Like but they were
Got it.
slightly modernized. So he was like, I'm making these encounters with these like primitive people. They look like cavemen. Like they look very savage, right?
That's so funny.
This is why he was hunting for food. So they would all be kind of hunting in like the same area. So he had these encounters and he reported it to the government. And so with the president's permission, Elizalde investigated that area and discovered a cave. And
Where's this
in
again?
this cave,
Like he's from the Philippines, but is he in the Philippines?
This is in the Philippines. This is in the Philippines. So this
Okay,
the
so he
Philippines
went
also
like
has different islands.
right.
And
Okay, so just to make sure I got a grasp on this, he born in the Philippines, went to you said Harvard
yeah, U.S. for
in the
Harvard.
U.S.
Yeah,
and then
came
went back
and worked for the
70s.
president.
Got it.
Yes, and he worked for the president dictator at that time. So
like you
yes.
said, dictator.
Dictator. So with the President Marcos' permission, Elizalde investigated the area and discovered, this cave. And in this cave is a big cave, apparently. He found this hunter-gatherer-ish, like, tribe. And he described it, because he announced it immediately as his discovery, of course. This was his discovery, because he worked for the Board of Minorities, but whatever.
That's
He
wild.
said that he found this tribe that was untouched by civilization. Completely untouched. Thousands of years, just living on this really tiny island in comparison to our states. On this island near other tribes, but has not been touched
Okay.
by civilization, okay? So
Mhm.
don't even think. And their language was barely translatable.
Okay.
They could barely understand it, but they
They meaning just this guy.
yeah, just this guy. They, Elizalde, would say that
That's so funny.
you could just barely understand it, right? So he was able to communicate, but just barely, right?
Okay,
So-
but like, if this is like, okay, this is a tribal tribe or whatever in
Yeah,
the
it's full of
Philippines.
indigenous tribes, yes.
Right. And you can barely translate it. How can you translate it at all? Dude,
Exactly.
like,
If they're untouched tribe,
how
1,000
does that
years
make
or so,
any sense?
no
Like, you'd be like,
contact
I don't
with
understand them. I'm going to
civilization.
go study them.
Exactly.
That would make more sense.
And he took it upon himself. So yes, his job is technically to kind of oversee these indigenous tribes
Mhm.
because he wants to protect culture in the Philippines, right? So
Got it.
he was very well equipped to take on this job and examine these people and talk to these people and figure out these people, okay? So when he stumbled upon them and he announced them, this is 1971, he
Okay.
described them as this tribe with really long hair, and they wore plant-made loincloths, and they used tools that were dated back 1,000 years, and they lived off of yams, and
Okay.
they were very cool cavemen.
Cool.
Yeah. So now,
So now he takes people to them, right? Right.
well, with the world now eyeballing this country, obviously, after
Mhm.
this discovery, the present dictator thought this tribe would make him look better and use this to promote the tribe as a symbol of the Philippines' cultural heritage to further international attention. So naturally, a primal tribe, completely untouched by modern civilization, reporters, researchers, scholars, you name it, are going to be itching, twitching to get to this place and get to those people and study them, right?
Definitely.
Exactly. To answer your question, you would let people go and examine these people and try to understand these people, right?
Mhm.
So these requests are piling up left and right and are being presented to Elizalde, and the president and him and the president were starting to stress. But of course, they can't deny these researchers or else it would be questioned. So they decided to let them in very small numbers.
Wait.
What?
So is the president dictator, is he in on this?
Yes.
So he knows that this is not real.
Yeah, he's the president dictator. He has to know everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it his idea or was it the guy who found them's idea?
This was Elizalde, for sure.
Okay.
I think he just got a little bit more powerful when he found when he had the president backing him, dictator. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, in very small numbers, they would let them in. But they had to
Wait.
look from what?
Wait, are they hiring actors to be these people?
No.
Oh.
So they would let these people come in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were only allowed to look at them from a very far distance because since they haven't been touched by civilization, of course, they would lock down the preserve that they've made, the reserve now that they've made around it so that outside people don't, intervene too much and freak them out and bring disease, right? So they would let
Mm-hmm.
these people watch them from a super far distance. But and they were heavily supervised. So since they were only to look from afar, they were supervised like crazy. You just had people breathing out, like, okay, you look, you saw them,
Oh.
you saw these people. Now you got to go. Like, there's your proof. Now you got to go. Since they weren't able to like actually examine and follow them and see what they do, no scholarly papers were published on the tribe during the time President Dictator Marcos was serving.
Okay. Okay, so if they're seeing them from the distance, who are they looking at?
They're looking at people. Well, I'm gonna get to that. They're
Okay.
Filipino. They're Filipino people, and they're indigenous.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now this part is kind of important because it would be like over a decade from 1971. It'd be over a decade before researchers can actually go see these peoples and examine. Okay, so this is the downfall of President Dictator Marcos. Okay,
Okay.
so in 1972, Marcos did not have a good following. People hated this man, okay?
I wonder why.
And because people were rebelling against him, he declared martial law to dissolve Congress, which allowed him to stay in power beyond the Constitution's 2-term limit. And so thousands of his opponents, anyone who stood against this, were either arrested, beaten, tortured, killed, or disappeared. So for 9 years, martial law was in
9
place.
years?
9 years.
What do you
But that's
mean?
not the end. That's not the end. So for 9 years, this president dictator would miraculously control the Philippines, right? And
So annoying.
after martial law ended, he still had a lot of dirty business in power. So when new elections would come, Marcos would somehow win by a landslide until his last win, his defense chief quits and sides with the movement against Marcos. So
That's crazy.
he's pretty much the only person that would be able to like really leave him defenseless, right? Because everybody was against this man's, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so he would switch sides, and the dictator would flee to Hawaii, where he would live the remainder of his life. Okay? Now, this is over a decade that this would happen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
After the downfall of Marcos, dictator, oh, and I forgot to mention, this tribe that was found, it was called the Tazaday tribe. Tazaday tribe.
Okay.
So after the downfall of Marcos, and the Tazaday reservation restrictions were null and void. And a lot of journalists and researchers and scholars would venture out to the Philippines to finally get the information they've been yearning for over a decade. And but this is just one account. So a Swiss journalist named Oswald Eten entered the lands and found the so-called Paleolithic, I think that's the word, Paleolithic tribe. They were dressed in t-shirts, living in huts, not caves. And that was kind of like this thing is a hoax. The Tazaday, of course, were not a Stone Age tribe, but rather a group of people, possibly Taboli, which are a Austronesian indigenous people of South
Okay.
Cotabato in southern Mindanao in the Philippines, or Manubo Built, which is like a sub-tribe of the Manubo, which is like a large multi-tribe like community. They were coached, so there's a little over 20 of them in this tribe, this untouched tribe. And they were coached by Elizalde and to portray a more primitive lifestyle, and this was done to attract publicity and potentially benefit from the region's resources. So I think they were trying to bring money to the Philippines in a really sketchy way, pretty much. So investigators also revealed that the Tazaday's cave dwellings were not even used. Their stone tools were like poorly made trinkets. They didn't match genuine old tools, like dating back to 1,000 years, like he said they were. They were just tied together with some string and not very well, right? They were not. They were so poorly made. And they had relatives that lived in nearby tribes.
Okay.
So when and they were
And
also
what year is
told,
this now?
this is in early 90s, or
Okay.
almost early 90s, late 80s and early 90s. So it's like 11, 12-ish years later. So late 80s. Yeah, late 80s. He they were they were actually able to speak with these tribespeople fairly well. And they said that Elizalde said that he would give them funds, protection from other tribes, because of course this is indigenous people, there's fighting and stuff like that, and assistance with modern resources for, like, in return them to pretty much act like they are cave dwellers, cavemen,
That's
literal
wild.
cavemen. Yes. So the impact from this was huge, obviously, because a discovery like this is like unheard of. Like, there's a couple different accounts of people, discovering indigenous people, like, on, isolated islands and stuff. Usually didn't go down too well. We've heard those stories. But we like this was like in a more accessible place, and you had people that could possibly speak the language, so they could get to know these people, this untouched community. So I think that it it was an opportunity that was too good to pass up. So the long-term impact of this, I found, like, just like a kind of like a side note, it said that the Tazaday hoax highlights the dangers of accepting claims without critical examination and the potential for exploitation in the name of anthropological discovery. The story also serves as a cautionary tale about the manipulation of indigenous communities for political and economic gain.
Okay.
So people have trust issues now after this, with good
Honestly,
reason.
yeah, fair.
With real good
Um,
reason.
yeah, but I feel like it is like it would be like a huge thing if people were to like find tribes. I know there's this one that popped up again recently. Like everybody's known about this tribe for a really long time, but nobody's permitted to go to this island because they immediately murder them.
Mhm.
Like if you step on the island, they will murder you.
Yeah. And that
And
was kind of
then
the one I was referring to.
right. I remember recently, like, I don't know, it was like several months ago from whenever this comes out. Um, there was this guy who went to this tribe or like went to the island, but not all the way, and he like swam up through a Coke can full of Coke and left it on the island and swam away. And he got in a lot of trouble because, like, you could give them diseases that they're not ready. Like, you could wipe out their
Exactly.
entire existence and, like, I don't know.
That's wild.
And then he also, like, ended up getting a video of him when he, like, swam away. He got a video and somebody was, like, on the island, like,
About to
they
kill it.
wanted
Kill it.
to,
Daggum.
yeah, crazy. But yeah, why would you want to lie about that? Like, why would you
I'm
want to
telling
lie
you
about
the
it?
lengths that people would go to stand out.
Is
And
that
this
what
is
it
for
is, though?
political. Well, yeah, it was for political gain because he was a dictator.
Well, no, I'm just talking about specifically the guy that, like, found them.
Well, he got a lot of praise. A lot of praise.
Did he,
Like
though?
you put your job on the line to spread the news of this people. Like they thought of him so highly because his job makes him look like a saint. Like, let's be real. Like, it does make him look really good. His job is to protect the minorities,
Yeah,
minority tribes in the Philippines. Like,
that don't exist.
well, no, the ones that do exist too.
Okay.
So, like,
Okay.
the tribal, yeah, the indigenous peoples as a whole. And then he found this tribe and he was doing everything to protect this tribe. But really, he was just trying to prevent the truth from coming out about this tribe.
Right.
Like, being
But
really
I still
strict
don't
on the
get, like,
borders and but it brought in money. It
okay.
brought in publicity.
But how could he have known that happened?
It made the president dictator look really good. I think this was a plan from the beginning. Like, these reports went to the government. So when
Yeah.
and the
But,
president
like,
has to give Elizalde permission. And so this is just my theory, he went out there, nothing was there, found a cave, had a really good idea, spoke to the president because they were on good terms. Like, he was appointed to his position, okay?
uh-huh.
Elizalde was by the president. So you came back, said this doesn't exist, but what if it did? How good would that make you look, the Philippines look, and it would bring people to the Philippines, which means money would come to the Philippines, making them richer.
But
So,
how could you know that that would happen? You know what I mean?
honestly, I don't think it was too far off because they
I mean, that did happen, but, like, how could you predict? Like, because, like, at that time, I don't know if there was, like, a lot of, like, of that kind of stuff happening, you know? Unless it
no,
was,
but
like, really prevalent.
since it was a very indigenous area and it was
Mhm.
preserved, they were going to get some sort of publicity no matter what it was. And
Right.
our money, like in America, our money stretches very far in the Philippines.
Mhm.
So they could have someone pay for a trip to this area and it could equate to almost millions in Filipino currency. Like a couple
Mhm.
$1,000, like that goes a long way in the Philippines. So,
I don't know, dude. I don't get
like
it.
our poor asses would be living comfy in the Philippines.
Hell yeah.
That's how behind it is
Do you wanna
economically.
go somewhere else? One day.
What day?
Let's
When?
buy
Tell
a
me
house in
when.
Spain when we're
In
older. España.
España. That would be cool. Maybe we'll find an indigenous people that's untouched by society.
Mm-mm. I don't
Look over
wanna.
there. you know?
Absolutely not. Because, like, I don't want to be responsible for wiping out an entire civilization because I passed on some type of illness that they don't have. 2, I don't want to die because they saw me and they were like, kill her because
Exactly.
I'm a threat.
Exactly.
So
Could live
I would
without
rather,
it.
I'd rather not. Thank you.
But anyways, hope you liked my hoax. I
Yeah.
didn't do what Jamie did, and I didn't keep you on your toes until the end, but it was just too, like, I don't know. I feel like it was just kind of too pathetic of a hoax to try to, like, keep a secret and try to convince you guys that this was real.
Fair. But, like,
So,
okay. I feel like mine was built to tell that way. You know what I mean? Like, it was giving theater, literally.
yeah,
So I had to
it
do
was.
it.
It was. I agree. I wish I had video, but they wouldn't take video of those people's for some reason.
Yeah. For some reason.
It was a lie. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys next week. Drink your water.
Mm-hmm.
Do that nice thing for yourself.
Exactly.
Find something to be happy about.
Yeah. Very much recommend finding something to be happy about.
Yes.
What are you going to be happy about this week?
I'm going to be happy about, honestly, being able to work out. I think that's been a big perspective. Like, I'm very grateful that I am, even though it is exhausting and it hurts and I want to take a 4-hour nap afterwards, I'm happy that my body can still move the way that it's supposed to. So I will choose to be happy about that.
Heck yeah.
What about you?
Me? Okay. I am... Okay, so I'm a DM for D&D, and I have one of my players is going to be out for like 3 weeks, starting last weekend. So this weekend, I'm going to do my very first fully custom one-shot. So it's going to be like one session, and like, I'm really excited about it, really nervous, but really excited.
So we're going to be happy about that. We're going to do a happy dance
yeah.
for it. Happy dance. Happy dance. Happy
No,
dance.
I'm really nervous because, like, I'm going to do this thing where, like, I'm creating the characters for them because the storyline that I'm doing, it's like they don't know that they're people who are going to fight monsters until they're fighting monsters. So
that's going to be
fun. I'm really excited.
I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. Take care of yourself, like we said. Drink your water. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Loved it.
Thanks.
I never know what I'm going to do until I do it.
I don't either. So it sounds okay and then really bad. Bye, guys.